This week we have a couple things that we've been building anticipation for. This marks the end of Halloween because Halloween ends. It was just a year ago that we were talking about the last Halloween movie, and I admitted it then, I'll admit it now. I've never seen one of them. I can't imagine that this would be a good reason for me to go see this one, in which it's ending. But some of you horror people, you've been keeping up with these since the '80s, and you're gonna go ahead and see Jamie Lee Curtis fight him one more time. What do you
That's true.
think? Yeah, you gonna do it? You gonna see it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a big Halloween fan. I've always even like the crappy sequels. I think they're kind of enjoyable. Even like for some reason, Mask is always the most difficult thing for them to understand. I don't know why. You look at like Halloween, I think like five or something. Just there's just some terrible, terrible mask out there, and it's always so funny. Um, but this started off as such like a fun franchise, and then when they brought it back in 2018, I thought it was such like a cool addition.
Hmm.
I don't know if Halloween Kills was exactly necessary. Um, I'm just gonna be totally honest. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be totally honest. I'm gonna watch it. I might even bring my Michael Myers mask. I don't know how crazy I'm gonna get. We shall
To
see.
the theater? Will they let you do that?
Probably not,
Yeah, that's a bet. Yeah, I don't know.
but we will see.
Okay, well, give it a shot. Let us know how that goes. I'm gonna go ahead and say, you know, probably not the best move, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what are you looking forward to with this? Because as you just said, you don't think that Halloween Kills needed to happen. So why should this one happen?
I think Halloween Kills kind of adds. I don't know if it's fair to say that, but it adds more and more tension to the already fighting tension between Michael Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis's character. And Halloween, it shows like what kind of effect it had and how it comes back. And then Halloween Kills just adds more and basically just drives the whole town crazy. And this is their way of saying goodbye to the character, saying goodbye to Jamie Lee's character, just to end it all and maybe do it in a blaze of glory. We'll
Do
see.
you
I think they'll
think
get some really fun moments out of this.
so? Do you think that this ends Jamie Lee Curtis's involvement with the franchise? But do you think that that means that they're going to reinvent this? They're going to reboot it and start all the way back at the beginning?
I would not be surprised. I'm just gonna be totally honest. Just seeing how the movies go. I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if she comes at like back as like executive producer or something along those lines, still having kind of a touch, but it should be a way of her saying goodbye to the character.
Hmm.
Because there's been a couple times like where they bring the character back, like famously age 20 years after the first Halloween. That was a big one. Um, if they do this right, again, I haven't seen the movie. If they do this right, this will be a fun, a thrilling, kind of just like a rewarding experience to the audience who have seen this character through ups and downs and doing just terrible things and just driving a stake through its heart and just ending the whole thing.
Yeah, and
They
I
do it
guess
right.
in the trailer, what they do is they hint at if I die, maybe he dies too. Do you do you really think that Jason would die in this?
It's Michael, but
Michael, I'm sorry. That tells you what a fan of these I'm not.
you're
My
absolutely fine.
mind's on Jason and Freddy Krueger. They're all the same
Yeah,
to me.
I mean, there's always been the whole thing of they're the same coin but different sides, whatever that whole thing. And
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine and talking about how they retconned the whole brother thing. That was a
Hmm.
big thing in the original Halloween 2 was like, oh, he's actually here to like finish his bloodline off, finally like kill her. But it kind of makes it more terrifying to have this mass psycho who's just been haunting you for years and for no reason, kind of playing into the stalker aspect that's been showing ever since like the first movie.
Do you think for someone like me who's never seen any of these that like I could watch this one and still enjoy it?
I I would love to say yes because I love these movies, but I'm no, absolutely not. I don't think there is a way for you to just watch like the last one. You know, there's so much that happens. Now I'm not saying you need to watch all the movies or even the first Halloween, but I think it would be a good idea to at least have seen Halloween 2018. You know, to
Okay.
start off. You know,
That's
where
where
it kind of
they
gives you
basically
a
said that
situation.
all the sequels to the original didn't matter. This is the sequel to the original. That's kind of they're just
Yeah,
totally. It was like Terminator. They've rebooted that franchise 5 times. This isn't
yeah,
as bad, but I guarantee
yeah,
you they're gonna reboot this thing, or like for some reason he's still not gonna be dead after the end of this movie, and he's gonna come back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
guess
Lindsay
that.
Lohan will be in the next one. Like they were talking about how they would love to do a sequel together to Freaky Friday. Maybe it'll be Freaky
yeah.
Halloween Friday, and then Lindsay Lohan would
Who
be
knows?
Jamie Lee Curtis reborn. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out
It's
there.
an interesting franchise because it was never supposed to be like this. I don't, Andrew or Dan, I don't even know if you guys know the story, but how Halloween was always supposed to be as a series and as an anthology. You know, they would do one with Michael Myers, and then they were going to do one with Season with Witch, but they were like, actually, you know, we got a really good feedback with Michael Myers. Let's do one more. So they did Halloween 2, and then they were like, okay, we did that. That's done. Let's go on to the anthology. So they did Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, and got a which had nothing to do with Michael Myers whatsoever. And it got bad reviews because they really wanted Michael Myers.
Mm.
And then from there, John Carpenter just like left the series pretty much. And just they just did all these really bad sequels, and they just kind of kept coming back trying to find their footing. And I thought they were good. They kind of had it with 2018, but I don't know, making a trilogy was always kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I
Dan,
don't know.
you got that face going on. What do you guys say?
Honestly, I feel like what you just described to me is the producers just, saying, "Hey, this thing is making money, do more." Like, stick to your artistic integrity and follow through on creating
Yeah,
something original. Because I think Halloween over the years has become the epitome of that horror franchise that refuses to go away. And because these things generally don't cost as much to make, it's not like a big risk for these studios and filmmakers to make, like, all right, yeah, sure, drop another 25 million, it will probably make 50. So like we at least break
yeah,
even. And the break even point is so low that they're willing to do that. Whereas, the reason why you can't do this kind of thing, I mean, with Terminator, they somehow managed to do it because, even though those movies kept failing upwards, but you can't do this with like an Avatar kind of a film where
No.
you spend $500 million on marketing and production, and then the movie barely breaks even. You're much less likely to make a sequel. With horror movies, they can fall prey to that, where it's like the Conjuring universe. I mean, they still tend to make a decent amount of money, so maybe that's not a fair comparison. But yeah, I really do wish that they kind of moved on and did something different. And
What
maybe like
is
what they're doing with James Bond now is rethinking the character for the next iteration. Give it a rest, come back to it in a few years. It doesn't have to be like 10 years, 3 to 5 years, and then do something totally new and different. Like we don't need
mm,
these characters back. Like I think we've seen them enough.
I disagree when it comes to Bond. We will always need a James Bond.
No, I'm not
Um,
saying. Well, I'm just saying the character's gonna be different. Well, to be fair though, every iteration of James Bond has been quite different because James Bond has always been a reflection of the era that you see those movies
yeah,
come out in.
yeah,
You
but
can't.
they haven't
Moonraker
varied
and
so
Skyfall have
differently
such a
that
gap.
like
Like for example,
Bond's always
yeah.
recognizable. He always is Bond,
mm.
and you can always feel that presence. What is the mythology of this? Like, what's the supernatural element? Is there a supernatural element to
The
this?
shape is what he is always referred to as. Michael Myers is supposed to be this just entity of nothing but evil. They refused to even write him down as Michael Myers in the credits. Every time you look at a Halloween movie, it should say the shape, and that's how it was in the
Where does the
script.
name come from then?
Um, it just comes from like I think a pitch meeting or something where um John Carpenter was like he is like in the shape of absolute evil, you know, just this hulking figure and something along those lines. But
But I mean, like, why do people know the character as Michael Myers if it's just the shape?
well, that is his name, and that like in the script they
he's
call
sort of
him Michael Myers, and because that is
yeah.
his name. But like
I mean, he's been
you know,
dead
like
so
when
many times. So
yeah, but
isn't that part of it? Like, because he keeps coming back after the getting killed. Like, I don't know, every movie seemingly does.
yeah, literally, yeah, pretty much every movie.
Yeah.
But what I mean is like they refer to him as the shape is like, you know, when they have like the actual script and they have like the character name and then the dialogue and stuff like that. It's well, he never has any lines of dialogue, but it's in the action it says the shape, you know, goes to the bed frame and that kind of stuff like that. It's supposed to be originally it was always being like technically he's human, but it never seems that way. It seems like there's nothing that can kill him, and that was always what was so scary about it. But I think we're kind of getting to a point of like, you got to kill this guy, or why should we even root for the hero in the first place?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
The son of the shape.
Sorry, I've been talking so much about this.
That's okay.
Story.
No, I'm trying to find a way into seeing this so that I can actually speak intelligently about it next week. Because up to this point, I have failed. But
you know,
it's.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's not the only thing we're gonna be watching next week. There's something else there on the second line.
I'm not watching that. I'm not doing it.
You could find your way into watching the She-Hulk finale.
I really don't want to. That literally made my skin crawl. The suggestion of me watching that show. I can't. I won't. It's not going to happen. But maybe you will. Maybe you watching this will watch She-Hulk and Halloween Ends. I'm going to see what I can do to try and find a way into Halloween Ends. I'm going to leave She-Hulk to you people. And yeah, in the meantime, stay in touch. We're on Instagram and Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and ohsocurious.com. So follow us, subscribe, be part of the conversation. We love when people engage with us. If you think we're obnoxious, if you think we're funny, if you like the tributes that we do to celebrities who have since passed, you know, this is a channel with a lot of content for you, and we're always pushing out more. So enjoy that. We make it for you. Till next time, we'll see you. Have a good week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.